What is up, my friends? We have a build today. I haven't posted many defensive builds recently, so I think whenever this drops, a day or two after that, I'm going to drop a back end build, and then maybe the next day or the day after that even, I'm going to drop a center build. I think I'm going to make all these builds I'm going to post too. I've been going crazy on guard builds, and not even really making guard builds that you can take anywhere. Really just guard builds that you can take like in Pro-Am only. And you know, I've gone through as many point guard builds as I possibly can. I'm dropping a 98-3 point guard build here soon as well. So I'm gonna start dropping some more all around builds. All right, so we're gonna start with this one. I've made this build. I've unfortunately spent money on this build. I spent too much money on this build, and I spent enough money where I can transfer some of the VC I spent to the back end builds. Anyways, this is gonna be our lock build. I'm gonna show you a couple different ways that you can do this. I posted a lock build a long time ago when I first started, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did in that video. I'm gonna give you the build that I made that I think makes more sense, but I'm gonna also show you a build that might make sense if you are just trying to be a pure lock. So I'm gonna start with the one that I made. So you're gonna be 6'6" power forward, 265, 7'1" wingspan. The height, we're making the height so that we can shoot. That's why the wingspan's small, but the weight's gonna make up for a lot of the things that that you might be questioning right now. So let's look into this right now. Let's do our our physicals first, which is what we always do, as you know. We're gonna go at 86 speed, 77 excel, 95 strength, stamina 99, and then we're gonna have a 60 vertical. All right, so now obviously off the rip, from what I know, speed is not most important, but when it comes to playing defense, speed is very important and crucial. Your perimeter defense is also obviously important, but the speed is what makes you quick. All right, so that's why we do that. Acceleration 77. You're gonna get fast feet on gold. Very important badge. It's too expensive to get Hall of Fame. I tried it, and it's not worth it. 95 strength for the immovable enforcer. This, I'll show two different variations of this build, obviously, but I was all over making a 98 perimeter build, and you only get pick, dodge, or Hoff. And so whether or not that's worth it, I'm not too sure. I really want to try it, but I think that the strength is going to make up for that. And a 94 perimeter, which I'll talk about in a second, is more than worth it, in my opinion. So let's just get right into it. We'll save the defense for last. Let's get the shooting out of the way. So you can play corner with this build. You can play hash with this build. You know, this build is going to be really fun to play with in random rec because you're going to be all over the court. It's going to lack rebounding, but you know, we're going to lack in some areas because our shooting's really, really good. We're gonna have a 90 midi. 90 midi, I mean, obviously, if you've watched my channel before, I've been using midi this whole year, so I've been able to get in my midi bag a little bit. And you also get all these badges on gold: Blinders, Deadeye, Green Machine, Space Creator, Open Looks Hoff. Like, you can get all those badges really high. Free throw doesn't have to be that high because if you're playing with anyone that's a guard, you know, they're gonna be the ones shooting free throws, if anything. So really elite shooting. You get the Limitless here. I think that's the best badge in the game in terms of the price of it. 85-3 is like the bottom tier for elite this year, in my opinion. So you can be a really good shooter with this kind of build. You get the T-Mac base, obviously. I'll show you another version of this build after this, like I said, that will be... We'll get into that. Anyways, shooting's really good. Let's get the nasty one out the way. I've been playing around with this a lot. I believe in pass full-heartedly. I think it's important. I was gonna have 60 pass, and I've been floating passes left and right, so I'm not gonna do that. 75 pass accuracy. You get the break starter on silver. I think that also comes into effect on outlet passes. I don't think it's just rebounding, so I don't believe in that description for that badge right there. Special delivery, cool, but you get the touch passer, the relay passer. You don't get needle threader. But, I mean, if you're a lock build and you're trying to thread the needle, I mean, you're not really doing what you're supposed to be doing. This is a catch and shoot build, potentially get in your bag. I'm gonna save the finishing for last because I wanna go in detail with that a little bit. But the defense, all right. What I've noticed with me and my buddy who just made a back end build, we can switch screens a lot, and I don't have a build that is really good on the switch. So I think obviously 74 interior isn't fantastic, but I think it's very doable, and I think you can hold your own. Especially when I show you the rest of the stats, it's gonna make more and more sense. But we're gonna do a 74 so you can get the post lockdown on bronze. Obviously, I said in the beginning of the video that we're gonna do a 94 perimeter, so we're gonna stick with that. So from 93 to 94, you get Workhorse, Challenger, and ankle braces on Hoff. That is why I'm not gonna go all the way up to a 98, because I really wanna try it, obviously. I think it'd be broken, but I think a movable enforcer will make up for that. And, you know, having, you know, a gold badge instead of a Hoff badge is never the worst case scenario, because no matter what build I was gonna make for this, we were gonna have a 99 steel, okay? It's April. Put 99 somewhere. Why not steel? It took me 3 games. I just made this build today as I'm recording this. It took me 3 games to get 10 steals. Like, game 1, I had maybe 2 steals. Or game 1, 2 steals. Game 3, 3 steals. And then in game 3, I had 10 steals. This is insane. The attribute alone is crazy. I can't even imagine what this is gonna be like on Hall of Fame. Once I get it upgraded to Hall of Fame, all these badges, I'm gonna talk about it. You could go 96. Number one, I'm not a right stick ripper guy, so I don't really understand the use of that badge. Obviously, I'm not dumb. I understand it's just your right stick, but I want a 99. Like, I want there to be no doubt that I'm gonna get that steal. I'm gonna spam square. I'm gonna be an absolute a-hole with this build, all right? 99 steal, this is what the whole build is centered around. Gotta go with that. 68 block, you're gonna get the chase down on bronze. Now, the only problem with being 6'6" in a lockdown build is that you're not gonna be able to get anchor. The fact of the matter is whether you're in random rec or pro-am or the park, you know, blocks with anchor bronze is pretty hard to come by, and 7 times out of 10, it's gonna be a chase down like block that you're trying to do. I would love to go up higher, but if you go up to 6'7", this build just becomes more and more expensive to do. So we're gonna keep it like that. And then we're gonna have our 60 defensive rebound. This is just so that you can help out down there. You're gonna have a power forward, you're gonna play alongside a center. Obviously, we're at power forward with this build, but anytime you match up in a rec with a taller guy, you know, they're gonna be the power forward. So don't have to worry about that. I've actually played center with this build, and I had like 6 boards, and I don't have my rebound up at all, so you're gonna be fine. Don't worry about the board. You're on the perimeter stealing everything. Now, the finishing is the most interesting part with this build. I want to be able to do a little bit more. My pro-am mind thinks about, I'm going to be, whether I'm on the hash, a little bit different scenario there, but if I'm in the corner, right, I'm going to have a point guard on me most likely, potentially, unless they want to put the point guard on the center in the corner. You know, interesting. So, just so that we can get some animations when we are backdooring and stuff, we're gonna have a 36 driving dunk, and then we're gonna up this to a 75 standing dunk. Now, you could go 73, because 73, if you're just worried about the badges, that's where you get fast twitch bronze. There's a dunk package. I don't know what it's called off the top of my head. Like I said, I made this build today, so I don't have everything upgraded, but there's a dunk package that you can get at 75, and not going up to 85, which I think is better. I wanted to get as many animations on a standing dunk that I could, so I went with 75. If you've seen anything about my builds in the past, I made a build, or excuse me, I made a video talking about post-fade Phenom. It is so cheap this year to up your post control. This build has a 90 midi and a 95 strength. Best believe that I'm gonna try to get back down Punisher Hall of Fame and post-fade Phenom Hall of Fame. I think that this is what is gonna stand out the most from this lockdown build. Anytime that you get a switch, I'm gonna show gameplay of it at some point in my life, of me just harassing guards or shorter defenders with this build in whether it's Random Rec or Pro-Am, if I ever use this in Pro-Am. I think this is gonna be disgusting. It's cheap. You just saw I have 35. This is the build right here. I could go up to a 79 like that. That's not crazy. I could go up to a 77 pass. Not a huge difference with the +2. You could go up to an 84 here, 82. I think that's cool, but you're not gonna be in the, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be in the interior a ton. Upping your rebound, you're not gonna get any upgrades there. Why not just have some fun, baby? Oh, I don't know how we got there. Why not just have some fun, baby? Right? If you don't know how to use post control, put it somewhere else. The next build I make is not gonna have post control, so that's okay. But for me, this is the build that I'm gonna use. This is the build that I've already made. I've already spent money on the build on accident, a little too much money, but you know, you get the Al Horford, David West, Kawhi Leonard comparisons. Really not that bad. Two-way, 3-level threat. So, I mean, when they read that, they're not gonna think 95 strength, 99 steel off the top of their head. So, really think this is a great build. Highly recommend making it. I'm having a lot of fun using it right now. Let me talk about another version of this build. All right, and so if I was gonna make another version of it, up the wingspan by 1, that way that you just have the longest wingspan possible while still maintaining the 95 strength. The 95 strength is definitely something I would not change with this build. 6'6" I wouldn't change because I want fast feet on goal just so I can move better side to side. It's gonna look something like this, something along the lines of this. Obviously, you could go in here and get all nitty gritty and change what you want. Maybe something like this, where you have the same finishing. Let me see. That can go down a bit. I mean, maybe you want to just board. Maybe you just want to do something special, unique, and special. You know what I mean? Something along these lines you know, the lines of this. The shooting's going to be down a little bit. The pass is going to be down a little bit. The finishing is sorted down a bit, but the red is up a lot of it. 88 interior, 94 perimeter, 99 steal. We just have the block up just because we can make that work. Just so you're able to board a little bit, but I wouldn't do rebounding just because you're gonna have other guys around you that are gonna rebound. If you're trying to switch everything, if you're trying to, you know, you're gonna get stuck on a big every once in a while, then this build is unfreaking believable. If you're willing to sacrifice the shooting that I just showed you for this, then this build is honestly probably better. I'm not gonna lie. But for me, I want to be able to shoot as good as I possibly can. So I would go something along the lines of that. But those are the 2 lockdown builds that I would think about making if I were you. Real solid. You can go into Random Rec and do, you know, whatever you want. Really have a lot of fun, especially if you like make this build and you can literally just do a little bit of everything. Obviously, I made mine more catered to Pro-Am and playing with people that I know. So it is what it is. But yeah, let me know what you think about these builds. Like I said, I made the first one, not this one. So let me know what you like. I'm going to drop a back end build here soon. I appreciate the support, as always. I love you, baby.